Today we're going to be looking at the mental disorder portrayed by the character Dr. John Nash in the movie A Beautiful Mind. My name is Wesley Garza.
And my name is Savannah Schwab. To begin our case study, we're going to dive into the background of Dr. John Nash. Dr. John Nash was a very accomplished man. The movie begins with him attending grad school at Princeton University in 1947. During his time here, he studied mathematics and became obsessed with creating an original idea for his thesis. After graduation, he was offered a job with Wheeler Defense Labs, which led him to work with the government at the Pentagon, decoding Russian coordinates in 1953. He became nationally renowned for his mathematical theories, winning the Nobel Prize in 1994 for his game theory of economics.
Beginning with his code breaking, we can see that John has a unique mind, finding patterns where nobody else can. This escalated into delusions that he was working to find a bomb in the United States far after his code breaking with the government ended. When he panicked at one of his lectures, believing the government was there for him, he was tackled and taken in by Dr. Rosen, a psychiatrist who diagnosed him with schizophrenia. Patients with schizophrenia often blend reality and fantasy together. Their thoughts and their perception are skewed and they're disturbed. The classic symptoms include hallucinations, delusions, disorganized speech, social withdrawal, lack of emotion, pleasure, or motivation. Schizophrenia is caused by a physical brain abnormality, which can be seen in scans of the brain of schizophrenic patients. In these scans, we can see that the gray matter is actually reduced. Not all cultures have a great understanding of mental illness, so schizophrenia might not be diagnosed in every culture. They might still see schizophrenics as possessed or crazy. In the United States, we still have negative stereotypes against those with schizophrenia. We see them as dangerous, and those who don't understand mental disorders well might still think of these people as crazy or psycho.
During the movie, he fictionalized 3 characters. Firstly, during his time at Princeton, he hallucinated having a roommate named Charles Herman, when in reality, he lived alone. He imagines Charles yelling at him to kill himself and to bust his head, but at the same time, he is his best friend. He also hallucinates Charles's niece, Marcy. Throughout the movie, she never gets older. While working in the Pentagon, he imagines seeing a big brother figure named William Parcher, who he meets up with privately to explain to him his mission as a spy to track down the Russian bomb in the U.S. This delusion continues throughout his life, but can be controlled later in life with medication. Some symptoms usually evident in schizophrenia patients that were not present in John are lack of motivation and disorganized speech. John is highly motivated to make high achievements and to complete his mission as a spy. John also speaks coherently throughout the movie.
Our treatment plan for somebody like John today would be a course of antipsychotic drugs and therapy. The antipsychotic drugs, they ease delusion and hallucination symptoms, and therapy can help social skills, and they can help the patients recognize delusions and thought patterns. However, there are some ethical concerns with these treatments. The side effects for antipsychotics can be very harsh, and patients might not want to be treated when they need it. While some patients might not want to be treated because of these, their family members may try and force them to be treated anyway. There are also barriers to treatment. Many can't afford the treatment, and they don't have a support system to get the treatment they need. In John's case, he didn't have anybody to recognize his symptoms and think to get him the help he needed until it got out of control. In the movie, John is treated using insulin shock therapy in addition to medication. Insulin shock therapy is not used today because of ethical concerns, and it hasn't been proven very useful for this condition.
In our opinion, the movie very accurately portrays the mannerisms, behaviors, and delusions of a schizophrenic patient. However, it was not very accurate in its illusion of the hallucinations of John. Hallucinations are usually auditory, such as hearing voices or distorted visuals, not a realistic person. The movie was accurate that medication helps immensely, but does not cure the disease. Through a somewhat simplified portrayal of the disorder, the audience is able to better understand what goes through a schizophrenic mind. Through the development of the audience sympathy towards John and seeing the disorder from his point of view, the stigma surrounding schizophrenia can be lowered as our understanding grows.